Finally, after 2 years, the biggest Ethereum update is upon us. Now, what does this mean? Will Ethereum pump after it? Will it dump and go to zero? Let's talk about this in this video. ETH 2.0, or the merge, has been in development for a while now, and it was postponed time and time again until this moment where they decided that they're gonna launch it around September 19th of 2022. The goal of the merge is to change the Ethereum network from a proof of work system to a proof of stake system. Currently, Ethereum's consensus mechanism, or the way transactions are validated on the Ethereum blockchain, is with something called proof of work, which is done by something called mining. I'm sure you've seen before the mining rigs, or these machines that essentially mine Ethereum, and what they are doing is that they're just automatically validating transactions. So if I send Ethereum from my wallet to yours, the miners are the ones who validate the transaction, and they receive a portion of the transaction fees, which are the gas fees that we pay. Now on September 19th, this is said to be over. So instead of validating the transactions through those mining rigs, the way the transactions are validated is through staking. And what staking means is that when you own Ethereum, you pledge Ethereum, or you lock them in the contract, which then would validate the transactions, and then you would get a portion of those transaction fees, and the rest of the fees are completely burnt. Now this means that mining for Ethereum will be over. So all these friends that you know that actually mine Ethereum and have all these mining rigs will not be able to mine Ethereum anymore, even though they can mine other coins, but not Ethereum. So instead of paying these fees to the miners, a portion of these fees are going to go to the network, and the rest are going to be burned. Two huge things are going to happen with the merge. Number one is that the amount of energy used by the Ethereum network will be dramatically decreased. And the second huge thing that's going to happen is that Ethereum is going to become a deflationary asset, meaning that every time Ethereum is used, or the Ethereum network is utilized, more Ethereum will be burned. And at the end of the day, we're going to get to a point where we are burning more Ethereum than we are producing, thus decreasing the supply of Ethereum, and which would most likely impact the price positively. Now all that sounds amazing, right? But not so fast. It's not quite amazing, and here's why. The way Ethereum developers are encouraging and incentivizing people to stop mining Ethereum is by implementing something called the difficulty bomb. Now once this difficulty bomb detonates, what happens is it becomes almost impossible for miners to mine Ethereum with the proof of work system. So instead they're going to have to use the proof of stake system, where whatever Ethereum they have will be pledged to the network, and this is how transactions will be validated. Now this difficulty bomb should have been detonated about a month ago from the time of filming this video. So if that happened, we would have been in big trouble, and that is because it would have been impossible for miners to facilitate or to validate any transactions on the blockchain. So essentially the Ethereum network would be completely shut down. So they implemented something called the Gray Glacier update, which is going to postpone the detonation of the difficulty bomb for about 100 days or 700,000 blocks. Now even though the detonation of this bomb has been postponed multiple times already, hopefully with this update it would be the last time they actually postpone it. The difficulty bomb can tell us a lot of things about when the update can happen. For example, if they decide to detonate the difficulty bomb around October, which is about 100 days from the time of filming this video, then they will give themselves at least 1 month or 3 weeks or so in advance for them to make the update, because just in case something goes wrong, obviously they do not want the bomb to be detonated before they're completely ready to launch. So let's say September 19th, as they say, is the day that they are going to launch the merge. If they decide to not do so, they are going to have to postpone the detonation of the difficulty bomb, I would say at least a week before September 19th, which then could really impact Ethereum's price in a negative way. If they postpone again, this is probably going to cause a lot of FUD and a lot of people to maybe sell their position in anticipation of the price dropping, which would cause the price to drop even further. I know the question on your mind is, what does that have to do with Ethereum's price? How is it going to impact it? Is Ethereum going to go up or down? Well, let me tell you what I think. So there are a few other factors other than the merge that will affect Ethereum's price, and first and foremost being the macro economy and the whole situation around the world. Now, no matter what happens with the merge, or no matter what happens in the crypto space, ultimately the news around the world is what's going to impact Ethereum's price the most, and it's going to outweigh any news that comes in the crypto space. So even though right now we have a pump or a relief rally, which is what happens in bear markets, so in bull markets we see dips or corrections, and people say buy the dips or buy the correction. And in bear markets, which is what's happening now, we see something called relief rallies, where price goes up and you potentially might want to take some profits or cut your losses short at these levels. And obviously this is not financial advice, but a week from now we are going to have the Fed meeting on July 27th. With that, the price of all assets around the world can either go up or down, which doesn't exclude Ethereum or Bitcoin or any crypto for that matter. The second factor we have to look out for is whether they actually go through with the merge or not. Now, hypothetically, if I want to forget any outside circumstances, which is definitely unrealistic, and I want to zoom in just on crypto, we have a lot of room to go up, at least for the short to medium term, and I'll explain. We already saw a huge sell-off, which then followed by a relief rally, which is what we're seeing right now. And with the current price of Bitcoin at about 24,000, we still have room to go up all the way to 28,000 or potentially $30,000 per Bitcoin, which would pump Bitcoin from the current price up about 20%. And now, as we've seen before, Ethereum always outpaces Bitcoin, just like many altcoins outpace Bitcoin. They just move more percentages than Bitcoin does. So if Bitcoin moves 20%, Ethereum can potentially move 20% plus, which means that Ethereum can pump probably about 20, 30, or even 40% all the way up to $2,000, $2,200, or $2,400. If this happens from now until a few weeks or until 1 month, this can almost exactly align with the date of the merge, where it can be one of those situations where it can be buy the rumor, sell the news, or buy the news, sell the actual event that can happen, where we can see a relief rally up until August or September, and then a few weeks or a few days before the merge is announced, or whether it's announced to be postponed or not, we can see the price of Ethereum correct back down. So personally, if I wanted to play this, I'm gonna watch this closely, and I would probably want to be out of Ethereum as we get closer to the day of the merge. If you're someone who's invested in this long term, this shouldn't matter to you. Personally, I'm a trader and I like getting the best entries and probably the best exits. Obviously, this is never 100% accurate, but I try to make it as best as possible. Ultimately, the upgrade is expected to be positive for the Ethereum network overall, not to mention the positive impact this will have on the environment. Additionally, Ethereum becoming a deflationary asset can be the main contributing factor for the flippening to happen. And for those of you who don't know, the flippening is when Ethereum can potentially flip Bitcoin and have a higher market cap. But for the short term, the price of Ethereum can potentially keep on going up, as we are in the middle of a relief rally, until the merge is announced to happen, or until it's announced that the merge will actually be delayed. Either way, Ethereum will eventually drop, because overall it's not the best time to be holding assets, but for the long run, this should definitely be positive for Ethereum and the crypto space overall.